Join me this and every Tuesday at 7 to 8:30 p.m. as we discuss various interesting topics and take a look at the current happenings on our island and in our region. Just before you go on your bed, let's touch on the points with your host, Connie JE, right here on Flashpoint Radio. Just before you go to bed, I'm your girl, Connie JE, live in studios right here in Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands. And today was a magical day. I'm sure those of you who are here will share the same sentiment. We had liquid sun in all its glory today. Wasn't it magnificent? I totally agree. I'm glad you're agreeing with me. And what will benefit from this liquid sun? All them East Indian mango, them Nam Duck, number 11, Julie, all them something there. And I'm still waiting on all the lovely people to bring me the bags and the boxes and the baskets of mango and gooseberry. You see me? I'm still waiting. And of course, ackee and breadfruit is just around the corner. So my anticipation is just growing and widening. I am so, delirious with anticipation in all these scrumptious gifts that I will be getting from our friends of Flashpoint Media. So we give God thanks for the liquid sun today. How has your day been? You have seen some struggles, some hardships. Has it been great? Well, the good thing about all of that, whether good or bad, is that someone who loves you immensely is in control. And don't doubt the fact that he is all knowledgeable about what's happening to you. Nothing passes his gaze. And know that he is with you more than he that is in the world. So I'm wishing for you a continued great evening until the morrow. Now, for all of you who, you're helping with the schoolwork, God bless you for that. And those of you who are cooking up scrumptious dishes in the kitchen, and a dash on, I am absolutely jealous. And if anybody is doing stew peas with chicken back and chicken foot, well, I'm very jealous of you this evening. But, we give God thanks that He has provided for our needs. And of course, we want to do a shout out. This is the shout out segment. Remember, those of you who would like for Connie JE, family or friends, go on our link, and go on our YouTube page, Instagram or TikTok, and just send me that message, that name, and says, Connie JE, would love for you to shout out so and so, and I will do it on our program. So I want to start this evening off with all my family members. I want to give a shout out to them. My mom, I want to send shout out to my nieces, all my nephews, cousins, all my siblings, every aunt, every uncle, If you're related to me, it's a big deal. And I want to say shout out to you. Shout out, of course, to our VIP members of Flashpoint Media, and also the dynamic team that we have here. You know, with all of you, Flashpoint Media is possible. And then, of course, to all our listening and viewing friends. If you're here in the Cayman Islands, Grand, here Cayman Islands, Little Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman, Cayman, Brad, we thank you. You are home. For those of you in Jamaica, in the US of A, Canada, England, across the world, Barbuda, St. Nevis, St. Kitts and Nevis. I'm hoping I'm saying them right. Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, right across the Caribbean. We want to say shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be talking a little bit about, the unsung heroes, the ones that do it, the power of one, the everyday heroes that change lives. And do you have an hero, someone that changed your life for the better? Someone who has been there for you when you thought it couldn't get any better. God placed this person in your life. Go on our link and share that story with us. I will share it tonight. If you share it, I'll share it tonight. Give that name, that person. Absolutely, we'll do the shout out for you. So tell us that nice story. How it changed for you, how that one person, that single person, or even if it's persons, but that quiet hero that changed your life. Share that story with us so we can share it with the rest of the world. And remember as well, during the shout out segments, I want to remind you, for those of you who are celebrating birthdays, and you've not yet joined the Flashpoint Media's Birthday Club, you can do it. You can do it. And of course, if you're saying your birthday, we announce your birthday, we are sharing all your songs for your special day. Remember, as well as a special gift from Flashpoint Media, you will have 25% discount on anything media. Absolutely. We do that for you. That's our gift to you. And so just remember, if you want to join in, it's flashpointmediaja@gmail.com, and you're able to send in your birthday month and date, and share with us as well the songs of your choice. So we'll feature that on the breakfast hour, yes, with Mikey G in the morning. And it's all about you. Well, we'll go to a commercial break, so stay tuned. And if you haven't yet done so, please go on, like, subscribe, and share. And don't go anywhere. Just before you go to bed, we'll return in a little bit. I look forward to chatting with you.
Need help to produce your podcast? Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's a 345-321-6969.
Need it fast, need it quick? Then let Breeze Mill Rent a Car blow their amazing affordable deals your way. Cars of all sizes with weekly, monthly, along with daily rentals of $25 per day. They're reliable, dependable, with friendly staff, free pickup and delivery. You can't get it any better than this. Call us at 936-1177 and allow Breezeville Rent-A-Car to blow the wind of hassle on its way. Breezeville Rent-A-Car. It's a breeze of a deal. Conditions apply. Join me this and every Tuesday as we discuss various interesting topics and take a look at the current happenings on our island and in our region. Just before you go to your bed, let's touch on the points with your host, Connie JE, right here on Flashpoint Radio.
Yes, thank you so much for staying linked in with Flashpoint Media. And just before you go to your bed, I'm so grateful that you are spending your precious time with me. It doesn't go unnoticed. So for all of you that are tuning in, blessings upon blessings to you. I have a friend by the name of Adele. We were having conversations today. Very intellectual guy, and I just wanted to give him a special shout out today. And he knows what I'm talking about when I say got to. And I just want you all to just pray for him, as God guides him through his process in life. An amazing guy. So I want to say shout out to you as well. And it was remiss of me not to say hello and to send all my love to CM. Yes, indeed. So grateful that you are tuning in. It's so amazing to have so much friends. I'm getting the messages that say, hey, I'm online. Yes, so glad for that. So shout out to you as well. This afternoon, I want to talk about the everyday heroes. So tonight, in Grand Cayman. So if you feel impressed, there are areas that you can also assist. And all of this is because they have been influenced by their educators to be able to do all of this. Now, I know of another lady that I want to talk about, and I find it so intriguing that, you know, she does this for her school and for the children in such a climate that, you know, the area, the terrain is rough. It is life-threatening to a point, the terrain being so rough, the distance she has to cover, and it's so interesting. It's a remote mountainous area in Bajura, Nepal. I talk about Nulasha Malisha from Nepal, and she's a resource class teacher in Bajura, and she teaches children with hearing impairments. And despite the challenging terrain and limited resources, she has dedicated herself to providing quality education, bringing happiness and confidence to her students. And I think that's amazing. That's putting yourself in, you know, in such a place, selflessly dedicating herself. That's to Lasha. And I also want to tell you about La Loa Maria Angeli in Madagascar. In 2013, she opened the village's first community school in an old house with a brick floor. Her dedication led to the construction of a new school in 2015, complete with desks and blackboards like we were talking about, and even a wheelchair ramp. By 2016, however, the school received new textbooks and school kits, significantly enhancing educational opportunities for local children. And it's so amazing that sometimes we take teachers for granted, we take educators for granted, and we don't know the sacrifice they have made to be able to aid our children in being better men and women for the future. When I think as well about the Caribbean unsung heroes, I think of Dame Nellie Robinson of Antigua. Yes, of Antigua. She was born in 1880, and Dame Nellie Robinson founded the Thomas Oliver Robinson Memorial School in Antigua, breaking down color and class barriers in education. She was the only woman to receive the Order of the National Hero from the government of Antigua and Barbuda, honoring her pioneering efforts in education. I also look at Mary Charles George from St. Kitts and Nevis. Mary Charles George was a dedicated educator who taught for 43 years in St. Kitts and Nevis. She was the first woman in the country to run for public office and was honored with the Order of the British Empire for her contributions to education. And in Jamaica, yes, going next door,
Hello.
Enid Gonsalves was a Jamaican teacher and community activist recognized for her outstanding contributions to education. She received numerous distinctions, including the Governor General's Achievement Award and the Prime Minister's Medal for community service and education. Now, if you remember anybody else that stands out to you as an educator, an unsung hero at all, drop that in and let's read it. Let's give a shout out to them. For those educators who have passed and gone, like my grandmother, I'm thinking if I should call her name or not, but Miss Gwendolyn Johnson, yes, of Old Harbor, St. Catherine, Jamaica. She was an educator, and one of the things that she has said that has remained with me is the fact that if you want to live forever, which you can in two ways. The first one is making sure that your life is aligned with Christ, and secondly, teach. Teach, teach, teach. And of course, you don't have to be necessarily a teacher to be an educator. So for those of you who have them recipe there, how to make the Christmas cake without the rum and make it taste like say rum did in there like a red label wine. And have them secret something there. Teach somebody, call them on my phone, send a message here to Flashpoint Media. We are more than happy to learn the tricks and the trade. Teach somebody. That recipe will live on, because I, of course, in turn will teach somebody. Teach somebody how to fix that car. Teach somebody how to fix appliances. Don't just give persons fish. Give them a what? And teach them how to fish. And let me tell you something, you would have created a great individual. So for all those persons who want to live forever, I gave you the two ingredients. This is me educating you, and this is me ensuring that I will be living forever. First goal, ensure your life is aligned with Christ, that you have repented of your sins and you have been baptized in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yes, indeed. And that's your first in for eternal life. And the second, ensure to teach others everything you know. Don't be like them people that went out of graveyard. Listen, enough education and information in the graveyard, And guess what? And nobody out just walk by now. No many of them. So share that cassava cake recipe. Share that with, the veggie meat and all them stuff we can turn with and make fashion, because I will tell you, truly, I don't really know how to cook veggie dishes other than black peas and spinach and with the big stew peas without the chicken foot. You know what I mean? So if anybody wants to know that simple recipe, call me. I will share it with you. So listen, Flashpoint Media. God has blessed us and made our team an all-round team. Right here at Flashpoint Media, we have the power of one in our midst. We do have our own unsung hero. And this evening, we want to let her know, to give her that accolade. We want to, give her the roses before she walks away. Yes, our own educator, our own guidance counselor, our very own. You know her, Nikki B. Yes, that lady with the special name that when it was pronounced to her, erected her shoulders high and lifted her head. Yes, none other than Nicola Bromfield Williams. When we come back after these commercial break, we will sit down and talk with our very own educator. I want you to see the beautiful face of a woman that will be living forever. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. And if you have not yet, like, subscribe, and share Hello, please do it now. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Planning a wedding, memorial, or office function? Let Flashpoint Media add a touch of magic to your special moments. Our professional audio services guarantee that your event is accompanied by the perfect sound, be it sweet melodies, heartfelt speeches, or the right beats to get your event going. Turn up the groove with Flashpoint Media's DJ services. From creating the perfect playlist for the event to keep the right energy, our DJs know how to read the room and ensure that the beat matches the vibes. Say goodbye to the dull moments and hello to an event that people will talk about for years to come. Why Flashpoint Media, you say? Expert podcast production, tailored audio services for events, dynamic DJ services with a diverse music library, unmatched quality and professionalism, your sonic signature every time. Have a message to share? Advertise with us. Don't just hear the difference. Feel the difference. Join the Flashpoint Media revolution and let us turn your audiovisual dreams into reality. Call us now at 345-927-7509 or visit us at Suite 14A, Plaza Venetia, Grand Cayman. Come ignite your journey with Flashpoint Media. Your heirs will finally thank you.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Need it fast, need it quick? Then let Breezemill Rent a Car blow their amazing affordable deals your way. Cars of all sizes with weekly, monthly, along with daily rentals of $25 per day. They're reliable, dependable, with friendly staff, free pickup and delivery. You can't get it any better than this. Call us at 936-1177 and allow Breezemill Rent a Car to blow the wind of hassle on its way. Breezemill Rent a Car. It's a breeze of a deal. Conditions apply.
You know, I'm your girl Connie JE, and live in studios with me, this beautiful none other than Mrs. Brumfield Williams. We call her Nikki B. Hey, and you know she is the host of Flash Talk, the uncut edition. How are you, Nikki B?
I am doing well, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know, may I try and remember what we
Them used to call you again at Jamaica.
No, I won't even repeat it. We're not going there today.
Listen, I'll be going up because I know that someone who never did hear the show want to know what we call her. Because look here, she's going to live forever, so we need to know all of the names them.
We said the name will live on.
Yes, that she goes by. But I want to let you know, and an amazing alto, amazing singer, and she is our very own educator. And we just came out of Charles Month ended May. Charles Month, even with the churches on island, our very own Cayman Islands Conference of Seventh-day Adventists and our local churches. We had the child preachers training. There was so much that was happening for the children. We allow them, of course, to learn, what's happening in the background and also being the face of the church for a time, taking charge, of our churches and the world. We were looking at the children. And so I was looking at, now we're in a new month. I wanted it for us not to forget Child's Month. I say, first thing out the door, let us talk about the persons who avail themselves to allow our children to grow into great men and women for the future. And our very own, you're our very own educator. So Nikki B, I wanted to share with us, what caused you to desire? Where did the desire to be a teacher or educator come from?
Thanks for that question. So I think I had the desire from a child.
Ah.
Right. So going to school, and I went to an Adventist institution. And back then, we were quite mature for our age. And at the time, you would come based on your abilities.
Oh, okay.
So even though we were 15, 16, we had persons who were 19, 20 a part of the class.
Ah.
And
okay.
so we were able to have this interact. We didn't have counselors at the time, but because we had older classmates, we were able to get counsel, godly counsel from our classmates. And looking back, I think there were things I wish I knew then that I know now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be an advocate. And I don't know what it is. I was drawn to older individuals. And I found that older ladies would come and share situations with me and ask for recommendations because counselors do not advise. So they would ask for recommendations, which I would share. Children would do the same. And I just had this passion to be an advocate for others. So that's where it started from.
Oh, amazing, amazing. And funnily, we never know how impactful we are to somebody's life. Because not everybody gets a chance to say thank you, right? So first, how many years have you been an educator or an advocate?
I would say 20 years.
20 years? Oh, roughly a little bit over when I was born. Nah, not bad. Just a little
look
bit
at
a
you
year.
now.
I know, right? Somebody help me find my bird paper.
Are you still 16?
No, I found the bird
Oh, you
paper
found-
and it
okay.
said 30.
Oh.
So I'm working with that. Right. So as an educator, you want to tell people that you must be true to yourself. So if you're 30 like me, be true to yourself.
To thine own self.
Be true, right? And we'll talk about that later this week, right? So share with us some of your challenges that you've had being an educator, and even not only as an educator, but challenges that you face and overcame to become that advocate.
Okay. So as an educator, I am specifically a school counselor.
Okay.
And one of the challenges I've had is I have to remember who my clients are. And so my clients are the students. However, they do not grow themselves.
That's right.
So they do have their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I try to encourage is a relationship between parents and the school, because we tend to get a lot more done when you have that cohesive effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say there has been a lot of challenges. One for me would have been resources.
Mm.
There are so many things I would like to do for the children, but without the proper resources, that has not gone as well as how we would want. Where I do not work for the government system, I'm from a private sector, and we do get help from government, but at the same time we tend to be limited with our own resource. However, we work with what we have.
Of course.
um what I do love about my job is building that rapport with children, and I am choosing my words carefully because I want to say this is actually the uncut edition of your program, because I had no idea what Connie was going to ask me tonight. None at all. But truthfully, there are times when I have to remember who I am, because even though I am a school counselor, I do teach life skills. And so I try, because you want to maintain classroom management,
Right.
and at the same time you want your students to know that, hey, at the end of the day, I am still here, I am still providing that safe space for you to come and speak with me.
Right.
So that's one of the challenges, trying to create that balance. And so I realize that once I show respect to the students, automatically they respect me as well. So I do not have to raise my voice in the classroom once I speak. As a matter of fact, one of the methods I use, if they get really loud, I will say, if you can hear my voice, put your hands in your lap and be quiet. And I will lower my voice. That means I have to strain their ears to hear,
you, yeah.
and then they will cooperate. So there are not much challenges, I must say, but just those few that I've been praying about and asking God for wisdom to help me navigate, because at the end of the day, I love what I do, Connie. And the truth is, I want to be for my students what I didn't have for myself
Yes.
growing up.
Yes.
And I've been through a lot growing up.
Yeah.
And as a result, I want my students to know that, hey, I am here. This is a safe space. There are things students may ask their peers and they may not get the right answer.
That's right.
So we want to make sure that we have safe adults who our students can actually go to.
Absolutely. I love that. Because when you touch on the point that you want to be for them what you did not have when you were younger, you'll be so surprised that so many resources may be out there, and yet there are children who have not been embraced by those resources. So the work continues, and we just wanna say to you, if you know of any child that just needs someone to talk to help them navigate in a safe space, try to get through to some of those resources. And of course, reach out to us here at Flashpoint, and we will navigate you to Miss Nicola Bromfield Williams, and of course she will be able then to navigate the next steps.
And we talk about challenges. I want to go back a bit. I want to use the opportunity to say to parents that we are not here to fasten your business. So a lot of parents are scared to have their children come and see the counselor, because they feel like we're going to use psychology to question the children, to find out business chat out. And so a lot of parents are scared of that, but that's not my job. My job is not to find out and to beat up on you. My job is to work with you, the parents, so that we can help, because at the end of the day, the objective is to provide that space for our children. It is their right to feel loved and appreciated, so they can, be at their fullest potential. So I want parents to know that we're not here to manipulate your children. We're here to provide, and I keep saying it, that safe space for them so that they can. And the reality is, Connie, I am a mom of a preteen, and as open and transparent I am with my daughter, not everything she comes and share
No,
with me.
she won't.
And so I have to reach out to the counselor at her school to say, hey, my daughter is not speaking to me about this. Can you reach her? So don't be afraid to come to the counselors as well. Share with us, how can we help? That's our job. We're helpers. We're natural helpers.
Yeah.
How can we help? And you do not have to suffer alone. You do not have to try to navigate things alone. We are here to help.
Absolutely. What's the name of the organization that we have here for children? Is it MASH?
We
or
do
not?
have MASH, which is a
MASH,
hub,
which
right?
is a hub, right?
Yes,
Right.
we do have MASH. And again, a lot of parents, as uh, Mrs. McLeod would have been here some weeks
Months
ago
ago, yeah.
from MASH. She spoke about MASH, and a lot of parents, again, are scared because they think, because the truth is, I am a child protection officer. So if I do suspect any abuse or anything like that, we have to report. We are not there to question and probe. Once it looks like, we have to report so that the necessary steps can be taken. And
Yeah.
again, it's not to say they're going to come and pull your child out your home. It is just to ensure that at the end of the day, your child is safe. And I believe that every parent want to know that their children are
yeah.
in fact safe. Because again, not everything your children are going to come and share with you. They'll share a lot, and I commend those parents who provide that space for their children, right? And especially when they get to the teen years, they tend to want to spend more time around their peers and to share
yes.
things, right? So we
And that's
just
when that's when the wall kind of come up. You know, the secret. I can't share this. I'm having this feeling. I can't share that with mommy or
Exactly.
daddy. 'Cause
Exactly.
We won't understand because we were never children.
we were never teens.
No.
You know, so we just want to help parents and educators, because even though we are advocates for children, we also want to provide that space for teachers as well, to say, hey, use us, you know, come and speak with us. We're here to provide that, because being, as a matter of fact, I don't think I should even be the person sitting in this seat, because there are so many educators out there, like they sleep teaching, they eat teaching, like everything. Teaching consumes them so much that sometimes it is just so hard to even take a bathroom break, you know? So we want to use this opportunity again to say, hey, it's okay to tap into your counselors. And by right, the truth is we can't spill your secret. It's not ethical.
Right, exactly. I
So
want to
we're
share
quite
that.
safe.
Yes.
And the only time, and even with children, we will say to them when we are offering our counseling service that, hey, what you say here, it stays here. However, if it poses a problem, like if there's a threat where you're suicidal or you're planning to hurt somebody or yourself, then we are mandated to
say
to report.
something. Right,
Yes.
right. Because we've seen a rise in self-harm for our young people here in Cayman, and that concerns me so much because, you know, again, I say the resources are there, and they are there, and surprisingly, so many of our children and our young people are not embraced by these resources. And so we looked at, I had a friend who she laid to rest her grandson in the month of May, who self-harmed himself. And it hits close to home when you know, you hear about others, but when it's close to home, it brings another, you know, another eye opener then, you know, so forth. And you're like, wow. And mind you, we are not all exempt from this road, right? So it is using the resources, and the teachers are here to assist. And again, kudos to them to have answered that call. And that's why I wanted to celebrate you. You are family, and I believe doing it here, letting you know that Absolutely, we appreciate you. So I want to ask Nicola, um, what were the challenges for you to become that advocate?
Okay, well, even though I believe that I was given a gift, I also believe that it is important to be trained.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right? So we understand, because you're dealing with the minds and hearts of people, and you want to make sure that you're trained to help people navigate life. The challenges, financial challenges, going through college. I'm from a faith-based home where, even though financially it was challenging, my parents would we would have devotions every morning,
Mm-hmm,
and my mom would put the pot on,
mm-hmm,
and we would pray and say, Lord, provide.
mm-hmm,
And by evening, somebody would come, right?
mm-hmm.
And that's how I
Amen.
went through college. Like, somebody would say, hey, I see your daughter is going to college, and I was praying, and God impressed on me to
Amen.
to
Yes,
provide.
indeed.
It's not much.
Mm-hmm,
Growing up, they'll
mm-hmm,
say it's
mm-hmm.
not much, but it can do something.
Yes,
And indeed,
it
it.
did.
And because of I remembered the sacrifice others would have made to help me to get through college. I too want to provide, and I'll say it's not much, but I do help to provide for others where I can as well. So that would have been my major challenge. I wasn't the brightest, but thankfully I had classmates who, their IQ was higher than mine, who could help me along the way. I recently completed my studies as well. That was challenging
Mm.
because now I'm married, I have a child, I'm working full time and navigating online learning and still showing up for my job and others.
Mm-hmm.
That part of it was hard, but
Mm-hmm.
I had to be honest. At one point I was like, I can't do this. It's too much,
Mm.
but then when I remembered why I started,
Mm-hmm.
I know that, hey, I had to finish it.
Finish
And
the
praise the
race.
Lord, I graduated last November, and I am just thankful to God.
What did you graduate with?
So I graduated, so I'm now certified as a social worker,
Ah.
and I'm also a school counselor.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful. I'm a counselor too, just not
Talk to me.
just just not accredited. So you come at your own risk, but I will give you good advice.
Well, you were warned.
Sometimes me talk proper things, yeah. So, you come at your own risk. We'll try to navigate.
And by right, you do give good counsel. I've been tuning into your program, and of course, I hear the counsel that you give, and you're just authentic.
Thank you.
And
I
that's,
try.
yeah, you're very
I
authentic, and so
try.
you're
Try.
wise as well. So those are also characteristics of being
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah,
counselor.
man, we
So.
give God thanks for our gifts, and we are here. And that's why I said earlier to our listening audience and our viewing audience that here at Flashpoint, God has blessed us with a team that is so diverse with the knowledge and skills and experiences that they come with. That just thinking about everything that we did for the month of May and having you, how could we not share you with the world? Let me tell you something. God has indeed blessed Flashpoint, and we're moving forward. My son, um, he was one of the speakers for the month of
Yes,
May.
he
Yeah,
was.
he was speaker for the month of May, and his topic was love in action. And the Bible says, and he highlighted this, that pray for those who hurt you, bless them that curse you, turn the other cheek, and love the unlovable, and all of these things. But then in reality, I look back on education, and many of our educators are not thanked. It feels like it's a thankless job that is just a cycle of just going, going, going. But I know having that desire, because I said to myself, how I want to sit down and grade so much paper. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And you're teaching and exam, and you have all these papers and all of these reports. I'm saying I probably can do the teaching part, go on the blackboard and so forth. But I'm not even going to manage the administration part. But kudos to all of it because it's so much work.
And I must say that when I look at the many hats that educators
yes.
wear, and especially where I work, I admire my coworkers so much, and I understand that at the end of the day, parents do have their children's best interest at heart, but sometimes because you're just looking at the smaller picture and not the bigger picture, sometimes teachers do get attacked, you know, because some, children may come home and they may complain, oh, this happened today, and by right they should share with you how their day went. And so instead of parents coming in to say, hey, Mrs. So and so or Miss so and so, my child has been complaining, can you talk what has been happening? But sometimes parents do not, because children will complain to parents and not teachers. So teachers may not know that the child is actually feeling how they're feeling. And so this is where parents now have to be the advocates for their children. And their child is coming home, they're complaining, go to teacher, man. I promise you, they will not bite your ears off. They will listen. Go to them, partner with them. So sometimes teachers are really not thanked as much as they should, and that is why teaching, it has to be something that you love. It has to be a call, because you're putting in more than you're going to get out. But I'm telling you, graduation day, when you see your children graduating, it gives you this joy.
I know.
Just watching, especially if you have been watching them from kindergarten coming all the way up. And for some teachers, when it comes to summer, as much as how they love taking the summer break, some of them really do miss their children when they're extra.
Yes, I remember them.
Yes.
Extra class,
extra lessons, right?
Yes.
So it is true. Teachers are not thanked as much, but just the idea of you showing up for your students, that in itself is very rewarding.
It is.
I say to my students that sometimes you may not remember a subject when as an adult looking back, but you look at the relationship. Some educators will tell you, oh, I became an educator because of how my teacher treated me, right? And so I wanted to be like Mr. So-and-so and Miss So-and-so. Some will tell you, well, because of how my teacher treated me, I want nothing to do with teaching, right? Sure. I have to strike the balance that if it's not your passion, then it is not something that you want to do, right?
Because it's rough,
It is.
It is. Yeah. It is rough. It's not as just cut and dry, easy teach, kids learn, go. And the enemy always tries to, of course, throw a wrench in all things good set by God. But as you said, children will remember how a particular teacher treated them, whether good or bad. And I want to remember my history teacher from Clarendon College, Mr. Williams. I don't know where he is today, but if his family's listening, tell him to Constance, say hello. And we had my Spanish teacher, and he also taught us. He taught us Spanish, and he taught us physics. And his name was Mr. Davis. They call him Rambo. At the time, can you remember Rambo? And he was so, and everybody was like, hey, even the big boys, because back in our days, the students look like man, right? And everybody does have to respect Rambo. And he come in your class and but he was such a gentle giant. But, and so I remember these people and so much more. And he's so amazing. And even for me, being a teacher, in Pathfinder, an adventurer club, right? And having children that I taught in Busy Bee, like our Deputy President Andrew Campbell, me used to teach him at Busy Bee, me teach him for Cross Street, you know. So when I look, but mind you, I'm 30. Okay, just setting that there right there. But when I look at him now being or deputy president of the Cayman Islands Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, and knowing that I used to teach him this, teach him how to cross street. Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, go back in time, go back in time, go back in time, go back in time. But it's so proud moment, and I see persons like Kimani, I'll call their names. Don't worry, they're fine. And I remember them, and they will come and say, Sister Connie, you remember? And they was afraid of me like puss, but they had the best time. And to see them now as adults, you know, you said graduation, but I'll take it further. When they're now in the workforce and adults, and you see them and they're now taking your counsel, isn't that a breath of fresh air?
It is. It is. It is really like, and for some of my students, when I see them, they're now married. You know, some with children, and I'm like, and they'll say, "Miss, you look the same," and I'm like, "Praise God."
Like, yeah, you.
Yeah, you know, but it is, and I'm so happy that I'm given this opportunity where I can personally give shout out to educators. I know at my school we ended the last Friday in May with a Thursday in May with a big bang for our students. We had fun day for them, and one of the featured part of the day was the football match. And so we had primary boys playing against high school boys. Primary boys won, and so they had to play against the teachers. And
Teachers won.
We sure did, you know, but I had to come out of my comfort zone because they needed enough players.
Right.
So, you know, I went and I did
Do
my
you look at
thing.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody never knows, so you know it.
Well, you know. But it was just so good to interact
Right,
with the children and
yes.
for them to see this fun side as well. You know, when we create that balance, they can say, "Hey, but teacher." Oh, one of the challenges I must say, I have learned here in Cayman that because students will run up to me at school, they will greet me everywhere I go. However, I have learned that if I'm in the supermarket or anywhere, if they don't call to me first, don't do it. They will not. Some will not call to you,
Aye.
and you don't want to be embarrassed.
Ah.
Right. So I have learned that, okay, once they come and call to me, I'm like, "Hey," but I wait on them. Yes. Yes. So that's one of the things we have
have
learned
learned,
here.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that would work with me. Because me, I call to them, and if you not call to me, and I'm going to say this, when exam come, I'm deducting 10 points off of everybody paper who never called to me at Foster's, Early's, or Kirk's, and 15 if I book you at Kemana Bay.
I think they would love you. They would love you.
Me know them are going to call to me very regular. Very regular. Very regular. Oh man, I have I am named after one of my my dad's sisters. Her name is Constance Rowena, and she is an educator. And you know, I remember summertime. You know, you get to go and spend holiday in a town, and you know you got town at the concrete jungle, really big house and all these things. So you're happy, you know. It's like a little mini foreign. But every time I would go to town, Corville Gardens, my auntie did have one big old book where it says CXC. Oh my gosh. And once she come with the book, it's like a nightmare, right? We always run from that teaching. And then my uncle Henry, also an educator, you have to have the homework done before him come home, right? But I could not understand the theory, Nicola. So me want you to explain if that makes sense. But he want the homework done before him reach home. Then when him come and you show him the homework, you have to work it out, show him.
Yes.
So you know doesn't make cheap. We just do the homework one time.
No, because you see, he's not home. So he wants to make sure that you're occupied doing something of substance. Because if you're not doing the homework, what are you doing? And if you're not doing house chores, so I guess that was his way of saying, hey, do something productive. And when I get home, I'll check it to see if it is correct. I'm thinking that's where he was
And
coming
then
from.
he wants to do it, but me have to do it over,
yes,
you know.
yes.
And I was like, I could not understand. Yes, you know. So I me figure out a sticky one. If
You want to stick my
yes, and then he teach maths and econ. So, you know, them the teacher there, them there the teacher there. Well, ooh, you know what I mean? And then my auntie want thick books, a red cover book that says TXC. Oh, I hated that book. But you know, now when I do it to my children, my kids are like, Mr. I had to do it. It helped me. You will do the same. But then we have one nice auntie we named Joy. Her style now was to carry the Mills and Boone them and Harley Quinn in a garbage bag. Come give me. Oh, my grandmother had a fit. But guess what? I was learning to read. And guess what? This was what stirred in me, the writer.
and build your imagery and the
Yes.
setting
Come
and
in
the
love, right and direct,
description.
please, you know. All of this. And my grandmother was like, no, carry them there and this, give her that and all that. But she would say, Mama, leave Connie and the Mills and Boone. Harley Quinn. Who remember them book there? Listen, right? So remember everything we do, you know.
Did you
we-
know Grace Livingston?
No.
So that's the Christian
Christian
yeah
one.
Christian
Yeah,
romance.
But we
Yeah.
probably can go up on
Yes,
line
man,
outside.
Grace
whatever.
Livingston.
But I
yes.
think there is something about turning pages.
And yeah, especially when the book is
New that smell. But so I rather that than, you know, on the device. What is your desire for the next 10 years, the next decade? What is your desire? Where do you see education, especially for children in the Cayman Islands? Where do you see them in a decade?
Well, education is dynamic, and we have to understand that how we grew up, how we were taught, our children today, they do not learn like that. So with us, it was the belt, it was, right? Our children today, they are more vocal.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I think that we still teach pre-COVID. And I would love to see us start educating post-COVID. Because the reality is, during COVID, we were online a lot. And children were not really writing. And so you would find that some of them would have even missed the fine motor skills. And so even the testing now, and I'm not speaking on behalf of organizations, this is just my personal information. So for me, sometimes I feel like we need to, even the assessments, how they're done, if we could do the assessment and test our children as they are now, because this is the time we are living in. Because because I'm sure you know about Chat GPT and all
yes,
those
of
things,
course,
right? And so we need to, even now, our children may not be doing so well when it comes on to testing, because the reality is we are still testing them pre-COVID and not post-COVID. And our children do not like to read, because especially comprehension, why it's not that they hate it, but it's a bit challenging for them. So if we can find more creative ways to get them to learn, even in nature, right? Take them out. So right now they're doing a lot of play-based learning for early learning centers, which is beautiful. But I think even if that was even implemented in the
Yes,
primary
and
and right, get the children right now our children live on the screen. They don't know
that's
how
true.
to socialize. So if we take them outside, do gardening, incorporate nature in these lesson plans, because the reality is we have to understand that back then we would teach our children to work for people
Mm-hmm.
and to get a job. But now we see that it is important to have a skill based on where the world is
Oh
going.
yeah.
So if we encourage our children that, hey, nothing is wrong with learning a skill. During COVID, when we look at it, the local farmers benefited
Oh yes, yes indeed.
because nothing was coming in,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
And so anything that you put your mind to and you're able to use your skill, you can make money from it. And we ought not to look down on
Yeah.
anybody's job, right?
That's right.
So we would say to children, if you don't behave yourself, you're going to be a garbage man. Or if you don't behave yourself, you're going to work. No, we're putting down people's livelihood, right? And so we want to be more inclusive. There are children who do not, everybody do not learn the same way.
Right.
Back then we would get beaten, not understanding
Yeah.
that, hey, there are children with dyslexia, there are different learning disabilities. And so we have to learn to differentiate, which the schools are doing. But again, human resource is short, right? And so we want our children. Right now, for me, while education is important, IQ is important, we also need to work on EQ, so emotional intelligence, right? And so for the next 10 years, I want to, because some of our children, they really don't, they might have high IQ, but they really don't know how to interact
Yes.
with others, right? And so even in the workforce, a lot of them not keeping their jobs because the basic social skills,
It's
they
not
do
there
not have it.
anymore.
So
So it's back to basic, really.
it's back to basic, right? So teaching social skills, helping them to learn a skill, bring that back in the schools, right? So
And make it
that's-
more fun because I remember
Yes.
when we were doing technical drawing or food and nutrition, it was so fun learning these technical skills or, soft skills if you are, I don't know what kind you want to call them, soft skill, hard skills, but yes, indeed. And I find, because my son doesn't like Spanish. And so an exam was coming up and he says, Mommy, I'm going to let you know, no, I'm not going to pass Spanish. So I said, why? And he says, I don't like the subject. I don't see the reason why I need to learn it. So I said, what you mean? I said, what if by chance one day somebody's in need of assistance and they only speak Spanish and don't speak it, oh, yeah, I gotta help them. He said, Mommy, there is Google Translate. I had to turn my face away to kind of get that little smile off to turn back to being serious. And I said, what if you don't have Wi-Fi? He said, Mommy, there is some translation and we can do it without Wi-Fi. And I was like, but he has a point. The apps are now there. I see that they tend now to lean to the apps more than to their own brain resource, right? And so now you all have to navigate that. I leave that to y'all the ones with the calling. So I send him to them. What do you say? Yes, indeed.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. But again, here is where you all also have to adapt and navigate this new reality.
For sure, because I must say that it was during COVID I learned to navigate teaching online, right? Because that was the only way we could reach our students. And before COVID, I believe I had 20/20 vision. But because of all that extensive, those extensive hours online teaching, I'm now a glasses girl, right?
Yes, we have.
And I believe that too has had a negative impact somewhat on even the brain of some of our children. And so you find that they are just so wired. Like some of them even you would want to think that they are so hooked,
Yes.
right? And there are children who have a hard time weaning king of these gadgets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it is. We have found ways to incorporate them in our teaching, but we still have to find other creative ways to
of
get them
getting
to be
back,
more
back
hands-on.
to nature
Because
and
right
yeah.
now, if if a guy wants to write a girl a letter, he now does chat GPT.
GPT, yeah.
Nobody's
Not
going
reading
and writing love letters
anymore.
anymore,
Yes, I
you know.
remember we used to get them there. Nostalgia. Mm.
You know, and yeah,
I
so
look a
we
perfume, I want
and
a
you
flower.
spritz,
Yeah.
and then you would get it and you get the petals and
Oh, you
you squeeze them in the book.
yeah.
Oh, I
Oh.
hope my parents not
We had to know the secret them and we not trying to
I
hide.
know, right?
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
Yeah, but the truth is, for now, we are doing the best we can with what we have. And at the end of the day, though, I because I teach at a Christian institution, we also incorporate faith and learning
Exactly.
in what we do.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many subjects our students would have garnered. We want to make sure that they would have known Christ through our teaching, through our interaction with them, so that when Christ comes, we can give account to say, based on how we taught, based on how we lived, we would have set an example. Because the truth is, not all of our students go to church. So we call our school a church, right? And so while education is great because they need that to navigate life, we are also incorporating the faith and learning to help them to know more about Christ. And so we find that when we do, especially at an early age, we find that, children, the dignity, the integrity that we want them to have. Because the truth is, we will not always be around our children. And we want to know that we would have taught them enough, whether through the word or through example, that if they're by themselves, they can make the choice that would make God and themselves pleased, So if all that we are doing, we have not shown Christ to them, then what we are doing as a Christian institution would have been in vain.
In vain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. We want to tell you thanks again. Absolutely. We appreciate your work. And just as you said, if you are not showing Christ to our children, then of course it would have all been in vain at the end of the day. And so from our family here at Flashpoint to you, we just want to say, may God continue to bless you, cover you, direct you, speak through you, and be your advocate as you advocate for our children. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, so
Thank you for having me.
absolutely. So stay tuned. When we come back after this commercial break, we'll do our wrap up. And of course, if you haven't yet liked, subscribed, or share, go ahead and do that now. Don't go anywhere. Just before you go to your bed, we'll continue in a little bit.
To produce your podcast, Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's a 345-321-6969. Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Planning a wedding, memorial, or office function? Let Flashpoint Media add a touch of magic to your special moments. Our professional audio services guarantee that your event is accompanied by the perfect sound, be it sweet melodies, heartfelt speeches, or the right beats to get your event going. Turn up the groove with Flashpoint Media's DJ services. From creating the perfect playlist for the event to keep the right energy, our DJs know how to read the room and ensure that the beat matches the vibes. Say goodbye to the dull moments and hello to an event that people will talk about for years to come. Why Flashpoint Media, you say? Expert podcast production, tailored audio services for events, dynamic DJ services with a diverse music library, unmatched quality and professionalism, your sonic signature every time. Have a message to share? Advertise with us. Don't just hear the difference. Feel the difference. Join the Flashpoint Media revolution and let us turn your audiovisual dreams into reality. Call us now at 3... Yes, welcome back to Just Before You Got Your Bed. Again, our unsung heroes, our educators. Kudos again to our very own Nikki B. Thanks to her for answering the call of God. And thanks to those of you who are educators in your own right that you have listened to the voice of God. And what I find is that we tend to teach our children, we want to teach them how to read, teach them how to write, we teach them how to walk, how to talk, and we never teach them the ways of heaven. So surprising, yes? That the first thing we want them to say, dada or daddy, and mommy and daddy is fighting to see who the baby going to call first. But we never teach them the name Jesus, to call Jesus first. We never teach them the name Jehovah, the Heavenly Father, the Creator. We never teach our children the ways of heaven first. I find now that maybe a baby is weeks old or even a month, 2 months old, for boys now and the girls, that we pierce their ears before we christen them. We pierce their ears before we give them over to the Lord and ask Him for continued blessings on their lives. So Nicola said something great. If we are not teaching our children to know the Creator, then we have failed in all we have done. It is so amazing to see how faith-based teaching and learning enhances an individual. And for all the teachers out there, we want to say we could not have a world without you in it, no matter how we try. Because even if you should get a robot to take over the teaching skills, there have to be, or my English is correct, there has to be someone in place to teach the dynamics, the steps in making the robot and also testing and ensuring the robot does even better than the human counterpart. So teachers are essential in our lives. And who is the greatest teacher? Jesus. God is the master teacher. And you know what I love about him is that he gives you the answer to the test plus the book before you even do the test. You know what I mean? You ever have them teacher that were just nice? We say, listen, I'm going to give you the test on Thursday, and this is what will be on the test paper. So go home and study it. You know them teacher there? Yo, me love them teacher there. Jesus is the first of those teachers. Jesus says, 2 roads are before you, one straight and one broad. But I want to bring to your attention that the straight that Jesus says is not the ordinary spelled straight. This one is spelled Straight. And this straight means discipline. There lies before you a disciplined road. There are things that you have to learn that will lead you to heaven. And there's a broad road that leads you to death. But here's the answer. But I pray, Jesus is saying, I pray you'll take the straight way. Again, Jesus did not tell us the exact date that, the Father would return. Because Jesus himself don't really know the date neither, But here is the best teacher. He tells us the signs of the times. He tells us the things that will happen prior to the end of the world. He tells you what you ought to do and how you must prepare for the storm that is ahead. Jesus tells us already and give us the insight. Listen, at God the Father, tell him the exact date of his return. You know we don't know. Because Jesus is like that. He's one of them nice, cool teacher there, and set you up for success. But God doesn't want anything forced. Educators don't want anything forced or cheated. Wants you to learn it. And as Janine said, my uncle did that process of having me do the work before and then have to do it over in his presence so it would stick. God wants you to know the thoughts he have towards you are the thoughts for you to prosper, be in good health, and be prosperous. All you have to do is just listen and follow the master teacher. Do hope that you have been educated in the best ways to have eternal life and continue thus. So from our family here at Flashpoint to yours, may God continue to bless you. May he overawe you. May he go before you. May peace shadow you. And may he bless your path, giving you the strength always to overcome the obstacles that are placed by the adversary. And above all else, he that started a good work in you is faithful to complete it to the end. Until next time, same place. I look forward to chatting to you. Remember now, subscribe, share, like up a thing them. And to all of you on Instagram and TikTok. My love you. Yes, and just as a quick note, I'm still here at Flashpoint waiting for the mango there. this and every Tuesday as we discuss various interesting topics and take a look at the current happenings on our island and in our region. Just before you go your bed, let's touch on the points with your host, Connie JE, right here on Flashpoint.